Well, good morning everybody. In today's video I want to share a really cool little freedom campsite that we just discovered. We're currently on our way from Hokitika down south along the west coast. And on the way we discovered this beautiful little freedom camp here, which we're going to explore a little bit, and we're going to be doing a little bit of fishing, of course, to stock up our fridge with some nice new protein.
You got me headed to the left, headed to the right, headed back and forth, but baby, it's alright. You got me going to the east, going to the west, going up and down, cause baby, you know best. All day, all night, running around, I'm never gonna stop because you never settle down. I'm never coming back, cause baby, you're the one. You got me dizzy, 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 dizzy on my feet. Can't eat, can't sleep every day of the week. All day, all night, running around. I'm never gonna stop because you never settle down.
As most freedom campsites, this one also, even though it's very remote, gets pretty busy during the nighttime. But during the day, everyone leaves. But yeah, it fills up, as you can see. Right by this bridge, there's a little bit of a swampy river that runs out to the river mouth out there and joins with the main river that runs out to sea. And where the rivers join down there is a little bit of an estuary, so I think that might be good or worthwhile to give it a try for fishing. I bet in the whitebait season there are lots of trout in here, sea run trout from that river, but yeah, maybe even some flounder down by the river mouth. Nice little tranquil spot right here under the bridge. Look at all the little birds flying around here, snatching up insects that hatch here probably. The water is deep dark brown around here. A couple of eels swimming around here as well. Always nice to see those. We don't fish for eels because, well, first of all, eels are a little bit endangered, right? And also they're a huge mess to deal with when you want to catch one of those, especially the big ones. It's just so slimy, and I caught one a while ago, a big one, and man, that was a mess, so I decided I'm never gonna catch an eel again. But let's go for a little walk to the beach, guys, and I'll show you around this beautiful spot a little bit. Having the fishing rules nearby a campsite is always a good sign. That means, yeah, it's probably a good fishing spot. Now, if you've got a four-wheel drive, you can actually drive down here towards the beach. You can't drive onto the beach because it's very soft sand. There are a couple of tracks here behind the dunes basically, and you can actually drive straight to the river mouth if you so wish, but it's only about 800 meters walk from the campsite, so we prefer just walking down to the river mouth. Stay fit, stay active, right? And just behind the campsite we got this beautiful looking swampland here. I love having those kind of, what are they? Is it a nikau? Was it like a palm tree? What do you guys reckon, Mrs.? I'm very bad with botanical identifications of trees and plants, but I just love these. They just make it feel so tropical always to me. The West Coast is just so beautiful. We've been so lucky with the weather as well. Everyone's been telling us that the summer has been so shitty on the East Coast and everywhere else, and the West Coast was the place to be. Since we came to the West Coast in mid of December already, we have had nothing but this super sunny, beautiful weather. So the sun always shines on the West Coast, it seems. And then we got a little track that goes to the beach from here. Not very far from the campsite at all. People really enjoy building those kind of little driftwood houses. There's so many of them here now. Lots of them. And so much driftwood. Endless amounts of driftwood here. But wow, check out this beach, guys. Check it out. This is the kind of beach you really want for surf casting, right? Where you can easily identify those big holes. The moment we got low tide, once the tide comes in, seems to be coming in all the way up here, where the sand is a little bit darker. So you can come at low tide, cast into these big channels and holes, and then just let the tide come in while you're fishing, and that usually works really good. Despite the Freedom Camp just behind here, I'm the only one on the beach right now. It is empty, pure beauty here. Really, really, really nice. And that's one thing you can find on the west coast of the South Island, those empty beaches, and all of them have this beautiful sand. This beach here has a little bit of a darker sand. Some of them, they're just pure white sand, and you have them all to yourselves. Look at that. I found myself a real nice seat here. Let's sit down and bring up the drone. All right, guys, let's go for a little flight. I thought I was just gonna talk a little bit while I fly the drone and show you what the drone can see. So hit the record button now. First of all, where are we? We're sitting right here under the drone. That's us here. And let's do a little bit of a droney, right? Oops, that was a little bit too fast. Okay, there we are in the picture. Let's do a droney out to the sea. All right, this way you can see the Freedom campsite just behind us there. Man, look at this. Wow, what a stunning West Coast scenery here. And now we got the sea coming into view. And this is where I wanted to just show you this sandbank. See if we can capture that from the air a little bit better. By the way, guys, over there, this is the stunning river mouth over there. Oh my God, from the air, that looks really, really nice. Can you see from here actually the color of the river? See how blue that river is? It's really, really clear, crystal clear water coming out of this river. Now, there wasn't much rain. After rain, that might change and get all brown, but I think it's just glacial water coming out there. Isn't it stunning? Look at that. And here on the footage, you can actually see these channels here in front of the beach. You can see where the white water breaks, where the waves break over the sandbank out here. And then you can actually see those big channels right here, see, in front of the beach. They're actually quite deep, deeper than expected. And there's a big hole right here. Check out the beautiful coastline that is now looking towards the northern end. And we got a bit of a bluff there. Flying in that direction is not so good with a drone because we got the sun up coming up from here. So let's have a look in the other direction. All right, here we go. We are pretty close by the river now, man. Check out this little stunning. So that is a little stream that comes from the campsite, the brown Coca-Cola water, and it joins into the main river here at the river mouth. And there's a little bit of an estuary, sort of type of estuary, because on the high tide, lots of this here will be underwater. It is somewhat of a braided river as well, almost like those rivers on the east coast. But yeah, the river mouth here is just stunning. Stunning views all the way out. Someone has actually decided to camp up right by the river mouth. I'm not so sure if that is actually allowed to do. There's a big sign out on the front and says no camping past the point where the Freedom camping site is. But yeah, there we go, guys. I hope you enjoyed the little drone excursion, bringing the drone back now. And I just wanted to show you this beautiful spot a little bit, so you get a feel for what it's like freedom camping and fishing here on the West Coast. What do you guys reckon about my bread that I just baked here? A nice German sourdough bread. Starting to get the hang of it, doing that in the caravan. Telling you this is so much better than the store-bought bread that you can buy, and it's actually really easy to make a proper bread in the caravan as long as you have an oven. If you want to know how I do this, then let me know in the comments. I might make a video or show you in one of our next videos how I actually make it. And by the way of doing that, I get usually dusted myself. Alright guys, so in terms of fishing, we were successful. We secured ourselves some nice new protein in form of a very big rig shark. Here we caught that in the morning on the incoming tide with our drone. The Arrow is just the beast for fishing, and if you're interested in buying a drone, just check out the link in the descriptions or in the comments below. There's a link for you to purchase the Arrow drone if you want a drone for fishing. And if you purchase via this link that we post, then we get a little bit of a commission from Arrow, and that way you can help our channel for us to make those videos. There's no downside for you. It will just give us a little bit of a boost if you purchase through this link. We weren't quite sure with drone fishing because the current here can be quite strong. There's a strong northerly current most of the time. So if you try drone fishing around here, you need a fairly heavy sand sinker. I'm using a 5 ounce at the moment, and you got to make sure that the wires on your sinker are very strong. So use a good quality sinker, like a Boss sinker or so. Really bend those wires together so they don't come off easily. And what I'm doing to prevent my line drifting straight up north along the beach is that we fly the drone out in a 45-degree angle towards the south, away from the beach, drop the bait, and then it will drift a little bit, but eventually it will settle, and it will probably settle right in front of you after a while. And of course, if it's too swelly here, then it probably won't work either, because the big breakers, they will, rip out your sinker, the waves that crash over your line. And then once it's loose, once it's not sitting properly anymore, or these little wires came off, then it will just rip across the beach out to the north, and you just have to reel it in back quickly. I just bought a new pack of squid, because squid's been working really good for us along this coast for catching snapper all the way down to Hokitika so far. Flying the drone out to about 400 meters here off that beach, but all we got initially was just a gray boy. And these gray boys, they fight pretty big. It was a fairly big gray boy as well. When you get to these more remote areas for fishing, you usually catch pretty big fish. And of course, release that, we don't really like eating gray boy. Some people do, but I'm a little bit worried about mercury content in fish. And school sharks, tope, gray boy, and seven-gill sharks, and all these sharks, they're top predators. They eat other fish, and they accumulate a lot of mercury in their meat, and when you eat them you get that too. So the official health recommendation for eating sharks and such things like that, marlin, all these big top predators, is to only eat 1 serving or so every 2 weeks. So it is a different story though with rig and elephant fish, because they mainly feed on paddle crabs and shrimps and small crustaceans, mussels and so on. They don't accumulate so much mercury at all, so they're in the same category as pretty much snappers. That's why people like to eat rig and elephant fish around here. First of all, they taste really good, and health-wise they're pretty safe to eat.
He caught something already. Good sign. Must have been his first cast again. Caught something? Hi.
Hi.
You caught something?
Yep, it's on.
Oh yeah. You look so blue today. You said snapper.
Maybe a snapper, let's see. Hopefully not another gray boy.
Hopefully you don't lose it, right?
It's tugging away quite a lot, so let's see.
Let's see if Mark caught something. Nice. Something edible. A rig shark, I think. That's a rig. A shark. Is it a rig shark or what is it?
That's another gray boy.
It looks same to me. It's another gray boy, guys. Bigger one. Careful with that, right?
These gray boys, they fight like hell actually. They fight like hell.
Yeah, Mark caught another gray boy. Bigger one. Oh no, I got it. Oh cool. Phew.
So I just remembered that I still had paddle crabs in the freezer. Back on the East Coast, when we were still around Blenheim, I collected a bunch of paddle crabs. I haven't used them since. If you've seen my previous video, I've shown you that paddle crabs, how to catch them, and that those are probably the best bait here on the South Island, the further south you go, because by using them you avoid catching sharks. Most of the sharks, they don't eat paddle crabs, but rig and elephantfish will.
After catching a lot of shark, I'm delivering frozen paddle crab to Mark. Hopefully we get something else rather than gray boys. Here, see, Mark is over there. Coming.
The squid did not work here. And he caught us a shark. So we're gonna try and fish with paddle crabs now. Looks like such a good bait. I don't know why no one is interested. So I changed to paddle crabs, flew the bait out again.
Forgot the rubber band, eh?
Yeah. Rubber band would be a little bit better, no? This will work as well, I guess. It should come off easily. Paddle crab and fish bite with crab flavor as well. These fish bites are quite good because they prevent the bait from sliding back up the hook. You just put a little piece of that on there. Kind of holds the bait in place. The crab won't slide off towards the hook. So looks quite good.
Hope for the best.
Kawoom! Got a big bite straight away. First drop, bang. And those rig shark, you know it straight away when you get one of those because they fight like hell. It was a bit difficult to get it over the lip here because there's a lot of undertow right here.
Hopefully not a shark. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Could be an elephant fish if they're so strong, or like a fairly big rig. Using paddle crabs, it shouldn't be a shark.
Stop. You still have it?
I think so. It's not fighting right now, but something is still have.
Something very big. Hopefully we don't lose this fish. Was about 300, right? This time. See? Maybe it's a really big gray boy. Oh, that's there, shark. Typhoon shark. Ay, yeah, 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 yeah. What's that? Come on. Such a big one. Such a big shark. I? What is it? Ah. Whoa, huge! OMG! Oh my god! It was so huge! Oh, I don't know if you want to keep it or not. So big.
It's gonna be meat for a little while.
Are you sure you want to keep it?
Yep.
We usually don't keep this size of fish, but we haven't caught any fish for a while. We had to keep this big fish for food. Really long, like 1 meter.
This freedom camping spot has now turned out to be a nice source of fresh fish for us. that we stopped here for 2 nights. Normally we don't keep such a big fish, but we've been not so lucky. We're fishing lately, so this is going to provide a little bit of food for a couple of days now. At least 4 days of food. Lots of crabs coming out of his mouth.
It's not ours, it's not our bait.
No, ours is, I think, still on the thing, but he's eating lots of crabs here.
Yeah, must have been fed very good. This guy, people die.
That provided us 2 kilos of nice fresh meat.
These are the off-cut from today's catch. There were a lot of meat. These are probably 300 grams or so. I'm going to make fish cake. I chopped some cabbage and capsicum, green one, and spring onions. Then I will mix them together. First, I want to chop this really fine, like a mincing. I just chopped all the off-cut meat. It was very tough, the meat. So if you have food processor or mincer, good idea to use it instead of hand cutting. It doesn't have to be fine chopped. I like to have a little bit of texture on my fish cake always. Can't cut these things, so tough. Nicely cooking away. This is the dough.
Look at what we are having today. This is the result of Haitian cooking 1 hour. The rig leftovers.
The off-cut, 300 grams of off-cut. We don't waste fish.
That when I was filleting, sort of didn't make it onto the fillets. And then I just cleaned it off the bones and the backbone. And now we have some really yummy looking salad as well. Coleslaw and fish cakes. Well done.
Can't say that now before you taste.
I'm sure it's gonna taste as good as it looks.
I'm so happy that we create new recipe now.
What a great job.
Sauce that I made too. I don't know, I can eat it because it's so spicy.
Got a very spicy Korean dipping sauce.
No, it's actually Thai. I used the Thai.
Thai dipping sauce, okay. That looks so good. Oh my god. Alright, let's give that a little try.
I put a little bit of a spicy sauce on top.
Yeah, put a little bit spicy sauce. You have really outdone yourself. Look at that. Wow. Alright, let's see it. Let's see it. Oh, yo, so yummy. Isn't that food to die for, is it?
It's really tasty. I'm not overacting, guys. This recipe that I just find out, new recipe, because we always want to try new thing, you know. It's amazingly tasty. Maybe this is the last time I cook this, because the mincing this rickshaw is not easy.
You could actually mince it in a food processor next time.
When I make fritta or like dumplings, I don't like slimy minced stuff. I like to have some kind of texture in it, like, you know.
Yeah, now we have little chunks of that meat in there because that rig is a bit nice texture, so it's a little bit kind of these chewy little chunks in there, so it's actually really good. It fits really good in that fish cake.
So next time, Mark can chop the rickshaw for me. Then I'll make one for you.
Why do I always have to do the hard work?
If we're gonna get nice food, we have to contribute a little bit too, right?
Start contributing with the catching.
Well, I cast today.
You flew the drone. And I've got a sore arm still from reeling in that big fish.
It's a really big one.
In my opinion, probably the best quality protein you can get. If you compare that to meat you can find in the supermarket, those artificially inflated chicken breasts and whatnot, you know, they're all injected with antibiotics and all sorts of nasty stuff. So if you can catch your own fish, you get really good wild quality meat, in my opinion, quality protein. So I don't know what do you guys have to share that opinion with me? I don't know the research on that, but it's just my personal opinion. The other thing I wanted to try here is to go floundering in the evening. So I took my spear and my light. I couldn't actually find my water flounder light, so I just used my headlight and had a look around the river mouth. There weren't many flounder there, but I've managed to spear one. It took me 2 hours to find that one flounder. So if you want to catch some flounder around here, it's probably not really worthwhile. And it wasn't a big one either, but we had that the next day for lunch and it was great. All right, so last night I went out to have a little bit of a flounder session in the evening. Was out about midnight or so. See what we got here. Oh yeah, we got one flounder, but this time it's only a very small flounder, nothing big. So as you can see, this flounder has red dots on the top. So I don't think this is a sand flounder, but maybe a sole. What do you guys think? What kind of flounder would that be here? I EK'd that straight away and it has been in the fridge overnight and the flounder is still moving. Unbelievable. How can that even be? Well, I'm gonna gut it a little bit and then it goes onto the frying pan. Yummy, yummy flounder. Salt and pepper. No flour?
Are you gonna put some flour now?
Flour is important with the flounder because they're quite slimy always. With the flour it makes them nice and crispy.
Cover the eyes. You have to look at us.
Just a little bit too big for the pan, eh? And so it happened, the flounder is done. Looks yummy. And we did also try a little bit spin fishing around the river mouth.
Wash my hair with you, do anything for you. I know I'm being forward, but I just can't help it. I know with you it's real, I don't mess with the counterfeit. I got it bad for you, when I'm holding you, I get so high off you. Diamonds are girls best friend, but if I had to choose, classic ones and zeros, baby, I'm obsessed with you. Give it to me, baby, give it to me, baby, yeah, the money, yeah, the money. Everything I need, you let make it.
Well, that was stupid, just lost my last Grim Reaper. The knot broke, but stuck on the guides and yeah, my last nice little Grim Reaper for catching Thailand. What a shame. It was stupid.
So stupid.
Bloody mistake with my knot. A little bit of a too thick knot and it was frayed a little bit. I was running through the guide of my spin fishing rod and it broke and I just saw the Grim Reaper lure flying out. So another Grim Reaper lost here, unfortunately.
I think Marcus something. How I find a guy? I lost it. I know. There was one cow. I need to say, Marcus is fishing. Born in the beach.
Wait, what are you doing? Did you step on that?
Me?
Oh. Yeah. And then we tried a bit of just surf casting and we hooked into 2 good fish with the surf caster as well, which we both lost due to stupid user errors. So I hope you guys enjoyed this today's video. A little bit of a really cool introduction to the freedom camping here on the West Coast and showcasing a little bit of that freedom camping spot. We don't mention exactly where it is, but you'll be able to find out if you look around on the map. If you enjoyed our content, then make sure you like and subscribe the video, and we see you in the next one.